your psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a bullseye! And here's your host, Jim Boyd!
Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for ramming speed!
Sir, there's another starship coming in. It's the Enterprise.
Bone, your shoulder bone connected to your neck bone connected to your head bone. Now hear the word of the Lord. Them bones gonna walk around.
Take a base of action. Green group, skip across the whole sector and each other.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap.
.007 Triple X.
Bond, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British hand up, sir.
Nobody does.
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Yes, indeed, Len Jimmy, you'll like this bit. Unlike Doctor Who last night, which I don't know. It seems to me there's a big divide on it, right? I think there's a big divide. I don't know. Most people in my sphere really didn't like it for different reasons, right? I mean, I just didn't like it. It was all really bad, frankly, right? I was like, it was embarrassing. Went, oh, what's wrong? Hang on, that's the wrong way. Oh, I went, my screen's in the wrong place. So if I do that, there you go. I can fix it. There's that. Very good. It didn't seem like it went down very well. Like for me, it seemed completely detached from Doctor Who in any way. So we got a lot to go through, right? I want to do the deep dive reviews on them, but I'm not sure we're going to get to both episodes. There's a lot to talk about, but then, we got to talk about the ratings, which were abysmal, right? Were they abysmal? I think they were abysmal. I think I think they're a portent of doom, right? They really were. They were the only lower rated episode was Legend of the Sea Devils, right? It was a real low rating, so it didn't seem like it went down well. It didn't seem like people are interested. Like, here's the thing that Russell hasn't done, and I think he's in somewhat denial about how bad a state Doctor Who was in. I think he's in denial about a lot of things, but he hasn't rekindled anybody's love of Doctor Who. Now, he thought he was going to do that with the specials, but he fucked it up. I'm sorry, he balls it up, right? I don't know what to tell you. He absolutely just screwed it up. Sadly, right? I think genuinely sadly. And look, there's so many things to talk about, right? Like his expectations for the series, which were very high, right? He thought, I said this yesterday, my impression is this is a Harry Potter replacement. He was like thinking, oh, now that J.K. Rowling is an evil transphobe, yeah. Most people aren't evil transphobes. Most people are like batshit bonkers crazy and believe the weird shit that I do, right? No, they don't, Russell. No, they don't, right? That's really the bottom. No, they do not. Was that? There was a thing in Variety. Oh man, I can't find my. Let me go to over here. So open a new window. X.com. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked. Oh, there it is, right there. Where is it? Bookmark. And we looked at this yesterday, but this is very indicative, right? Of of what's wrong with of their insane worldview that they have. Now, again, if you haven't seen the episodes, we'll do a deep dive review on them. They are. Look, it really stands and falls on Shooter's shoulders, and he's alienated so many people before he even bloody started. Like on Dan's channel, Dan, I feel really bad for, right? Dan is really loved them. He thought they were just super duper fun, right? And I think most people, in his audience are swimming around him will be like, this was awful. This was the worst thing ever. The thing is, people get very, very polarized, right? And they will like get entrenched. I don't want to do that. I want to try and be honest, but I really thought it was awful, right? I really genuinely thought it was awful for many reasons. I thought Space Fables was an okay opener. I thought Rose was way better. Like way, way, way better. The money being spent is just wasted in my estimation. And so, given that hasn't lit the world on fire, I doubt there's going to be a third season of this or the spin-offs or well, I just doubt it, right? I mean, it's Disney, who knows? But like, doesn't seem like it's doing very well, right? It doesn't seem like it's doing very well on Disney or on BBC, right? BBC it got destroyed. Again, Russell lives in this bizarre here. One second. This is a glimpse at the bizarre world he lives in. 1 second. We go. Is this it? Yeah. Doink. Right. Just star Jinx sponsor Ampax Maestro. This year's wackiest, most musical villain here. Certainly wackiest, right? I would definitely say most wackiest. But wait a minute, there's this really telling quote. What I think was going on was Rossi said, oh no, drag is under attack by the bigots, by the transphobes. Oh no, it's under attack. We must protect them. What they say in this interview? It's bigots. Let's try if I can find the word bigots. There we go. So fine. Shooting up with a new Doctor has unfortunately faced a barrage of racist, homophobic backlash to his casting. No. I again, could you citation, please? I don't see any. Racist, homophobic. There are people in the audience who have a very different views of me. People of difference, right? People of difference. I never had a problem with the Doctor being black. The time they should have done it. Oh, if I could go back in time and tell John Nathan Turner for the 6th Doctor, that would have saved Doctor Who from cancellation. I think that would have saved it from the trajectory it went on. And really, the sad thing about the 89 cancellation was it really only had 2 years where it was really shit, right? It really only had 2 years, which are unfortunately both Colin Baker years, right? But that's the truth of the cancellation there. It's like it came out that dive pretty. I mean, season 24 was a bit ropey. The Roy came out to do. It came out the dive, but really it only had 2-3 year shit. Anyway, so what? Racist, homophobic backlash? There wasn't racist. Well, I say, Shooty, why are you being so gay all the fucking time? Can you cool down on the gay shit? I mean, really. This is the go-to, right? This is the go-to that says everything. Like, Shooty, what are you doing with this, right, mate? This is. Yeah, no, nobody wants this. Nobody wants that, okay? I know, that's not true. Rusty David wants it. He thinks that's totally normal, right? Totally normal. Man, the man has lost all idea of what family is about. It's so sad. But, where is it? What's the variety article? Now I can't find the variety article. Oh, over here, Doink. So I don't remember seeing any racist, homophobic backlash. Listen, when he first was announced, I was really on board. It was only after they started like driveling their relentless shit that I go, well, this sounds bad. Just going, do you have a message for those online trolls? Okay, I mean, Ken, what a more pejorative way of framing this, right? I remember, was it Ilhan Omar, everybody's favorite left-wing anti-Semite? I mean, more favorite than Owen Jones, obviously. When she was talking about Jews, as we have to allow. There are Jews who are pro-genocide and Jews who are anti-genocide. Talking about who sides with their murdering rapist scum in Hamas, right? It's what a pejorative way. Do you have a message for these online trolls? Well, they don't exist. So I don't know what address you're going to. So I said, I used to try and find a way of being diplomatic. I used to try and find diplomatic ways of talking about this. And now, truly, how I feel. Who gives a fuck what the bigots think? I would like you to address the allegation that anybody that there are bigots there, right? I would like you to, you need to prove that point. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I have found people who are woke, and that word has a definition. But people who are woke, and I'm not going to bother defining it now because doesn't matter. Everybody knows what woke means. The only reason they say, "Well, what does woke mean?" is because they want to deny anything's woke. That's literally the only reason. Woke people tend to think anything you don't like about somebody who is gay or black or whatever is because they're gay or black, right? No, I'm sorry. I had the least of my problems with Jodie Whittaker was her being a lady. I have no trouble of people being ladies. That's perfectly okay. Fine. So, who gives a fuck what the bigots think? There are no bigots out there. I'm sorry. And I mean, is it bigger? Look, here's the thing. Rusty Davis wanted to protect drag as part of the LGBTQIA alliance, right? We live in a multicultural society, right? We live in a multicultural society where a lot of that society very much cherishes Judeo-Christian biblical values. I'm not saying everybody does. I'm saying there's a massive, massive segment of society, like tens of millions, hundreds of millions, right? Are very much find Judeo-Christian morality a cornerstone of your life. And like, just to be clear, cross-dressing is immoral from a Judeo-Christian point of view, right? Especially the highly sexualized cross-dressing is immoral from a Judeo-Christian point of view, right? Look, I didn't write the Bible, and I'm not saying round people and put them into camps. I'm saying it's immoral when we live in a multicultural society, right? So how do we... So in 2005, what did we do to have a multicultural society? We didn't rub our differences in each other's faces, right? It's like, look, me and Christians, we have very, very different worldviews, right? About a lot of things, about things that we find very important, right? Christian theology is the Jews killed Jesus, right? I don't want to offend anybody, but say that's not my way of looking at it. That's not my point of view, and I'm genuinely, but like, why would I bring that up? Why would I bring up? I'm sorry, Russell, you're bringing up this cross-dressing stuff as if it's anybody who's not on board is evil. No, they have a different worldview. Do you think they're evil in the Arab world? Where you never ever will criticize the Arab world, right? Where there is no pluralism or gay life, right? There's no ability to be openly gay in the Arab world. You never criticize. And I don't think Arabs are evil people. I think they have a different cultural, a different culture. And that's it. I'm not looking down at this. I'm saying they have a different culture. They do not have a Western culture. And Western culture is multicultural, right? Where we like live and let live. And we don't I mean, imagine doing an episode of Doctor Who about how depraved gay life was in the early 80s. Right, and you go and you celebrate a deity's bringing of AIDS. Can you imagine how insanely offensive that would be to so many people? And that's the worldview of a lot of people, right? Why be offensive? And you know, where you go, well, this shouldn't be offensive. You're a bigot if you no, you can. Okay, I don't mind there being drag queens. I don't mind. I mind the normalization of it as an identity. I think that is purely to the ill of society, right? I think it's a problem. So fine. So a more optimistic way and idealistic way of looking at this is the popular opinion is not on their side. Yeah, no, you're crazy. Again, there are hundreds of millions of Christians and Muslims and Jews in the world. Christians and Jews are like a drop in the ocean, right? There's hundreds of millions of them, right? No. And there's far less of you than there is of them, right? You are in the tiny minority, right? They're a very loud group and growing louder as they grow smaller. Again, this is what you're telling yourself. I think this is tied to Donald Trump as well, like this like meltdown that he's going to be president again. Unless, I mean, do you think there's a way of Biden cheating enough to win at this point? I don't think so. Right? I mean, look, best case scenario for Biden is there's a war and he can like suspend everything. So no, they're not great. Here's the thing, Jinx. They're winning the culture war. We are winning the culture war, right? And again, I want to live in peace and harmony with people who are different from me, be it Christians, be it gay people, be it trans. I want to live in peace and harmony, right? And I don't want anybody to have a hard time. Don't want anybody to be attacked or in any way or disadvantaged. But the same way, we have to allow us all to coexist. We have to allow women to have female spaces. When I say female spaces without penises, right? We need to be female sports, right? It was amazing to me. I have a feminist neighbor, and they popped round once, and we were chatting, and somehow the trans thing came. I didn't bring it up. Somehow the trans woman came up, and she was really in the bag for it. And this woman was a super feminist. I didn't think at the time because I'm a schmuck, but I should have said, this is the most misogynistic, woman-hating movement I've ever seen in my life, right? And from somebody who's reasonably sexist, right? One of the most misogynistic, women-hating movements I've ever seen, right? Because it is, and there's a lot of questions and discussions to be had over integrating your worldview, Russell, into the mainstream. But you don't want to have those conversations. You just want to dogmatically tell me I'm a bigot if I don't go along with you completely. Again, it's like the Palestinian, right, and or the was it Hamas? They whenever they come to negotiate, which is rare, their prerequisite for negotiating is you agree to their end goal before you start. I'm like, no, that's not a negotiation. Anyway. They're a very loud group and growing louder as they grow smaller. No, they're growing louder as you bring, again, what I think is degenerate perversion into the mainstream, right? And again, what consenting adults do in private is their own business, none do me, right? It's genuinely nothing to do with me. And God bless, I want to live in a world where people have freedom to be who they want to be, right? But again, I think we need to have, they've grown louder as the you and the LGBTQIA alliance have tried to take over society, which is what this is, right? So okay, with every way they lash out in this way, the conservative right have decided to take an all-out war against trans people, queer people, and people of color. No, okay, who is mad at people of color? No black people. I mean, like what? Who? When did this happen? Again, in your mind, when you see the huge Trump rallies, you think they all hate black people. That's your prejudice, right? They for all their talk of being progressive, these are the biggest bigots I've ever come across in my life, right? And again, I'm not against trans people. I am against you trying to you trying to bring to society the idea that being trans is a legitimate and healthy sexual identity, where it's most probably a kink, right? I have a problem with that. Would you like to talk about it? No, shut up is your answer. You wouldn't like to bloody talk about it, right? Queer people, no one had any trouble with anybody being gay, right? Really, we didn't, right? Like no one had any trouble with anybody being gay. People of color and claim that's not what they're doing. I'm going we'll tell again. Why? Because you dogmatically tell me that I thought you were frankly awful in Doctor Who. I don't like gay people. No, I thought you were shit in Doctor Who. Numbers are not shrinking for every transphobic, racist, bigot Doctor Who fan we lose this season. There are going to be 3 to 5 new fans who are coming in for the representation. Oh God, I hate that. So to those fans who are not fans, I say, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Well, they didn't, darling. They didn't. Again, on Dan's channel, there's only Dan and Charlotte, I believe, out their whole crew watching it. Look, Star Trek Discovery's on right now. Nobody gives a shit, right? And look, these ratings do indicate That's not very good. 2.6 debut? That's really bad. And that includes the iPlayer for that night, I believe. Doesn't it? The overnights normally include iPlayer. Otherwise, it's the live figure, right? I think that's the overnight. Look, I mean, they'll say, oh, we got 60 bazillion people watching. But look at how much impact it makes culturally. Is anybody talking about Starship Discovery? No. Did people talk about Fallout? Yes. And that's, I said this before, that's the only way you can get people on to be able to talk about your show is being good. So you went from 2.6 to 2.4. It's really bad. So let's put that in context to where is it? 2023. I mean, look, the overnights were way higher. Just like 5 point, they were double. These overnights have literally halved since Christmas. I'm sorry, that's kind of major. So they get what? They got about 3 million bump again, which I don't really buy. But at best, if you get a 3 million bump, you're looking at 5.6. That's pretty bad, right? Let's look at Jodie's. But and look, and Jodie didn't even get a 3 million bump. She got like a 1 million bump with iPlayer, right? Because it wasn't very good, right? It wasn't very good. I know. I think people might tune in for the first episode. I mean, the real story is where it ends, not where it starts, right? Where it ends, and look, it always goes down. But like 2.2, I mean, man, do you reckon if it gets a level 3.47? I mean, there's a we have to see, because I think they're going to fiddle the numbers, but I don't see the final figures being over 6, right? And it only goes down from there, right? You normally lose 2 million, so like by the time you get to their grand finale, which Russell Day was hyping up to, it's and that's the consolidated figure. Yeah, there will be a lot hypnosis. Now again, I was speaking to Dan a little bit about, again, he's in for a rough 6 weeks, and because look, the trouble is we are very passionate about Doctor Who, and like, what do you mean you like it bad? We freak out at him, and like, I have had some negative comments about that. Think the difference, like he didn't feel he didn't notice the politics in Space Babies. Like for me, they were deafening. Right, they were at the anti-abortion message. It was all deafening. There was so much politics in it, but he didn't notice. So I don't know. Look, and Jinx Monsoon again. I found Jinx Monsoon very, very off-putting, and this breaking the fourth wall, which every character did. Maestro Jinx Monsoon did. The Doctor did. Every character did at the end of the second one, which with that weird dance number. It kind of reminds me. What was it? It was in the Virgin New Adventures, where in that universe, right? Remember the Daleks, where it was going to say, and now on BBC One we have a new science fiction action adventure series for the children called, and it cuts off before it starts. So it was going to be in that universe. It was called Professor X, right? It was. That was the in-universe version of Doctor Who, and then in one of the new adventures, you saw a clip from it, right, where you had a guy sitting on top of a a post box, which was what his TARDIS was, called Tarsid. I can't remember, right? And it was like Doctor Who, but very, very different, right? He's speaking to the camera and things like that. That's really what I felt. This one was a lot like. There is real breaking of the fourth wall. A lot, right? And look, I just don't think it really adds up. Look, this is meant to be a queer representation show. Okay, good luck, everybody, right? For me, the queer representation was completely unhinged, right? Completely and totally, overall and unhinged. Fine, with that little intro, let's get to the chat. We have so much to talk about. Share screen. We're up to there. Hey, Millie. God, you got out of this one in the nick of time. I can't believe they did a 1960s musical episode and it didn't have me in it looking like it didn't have me looking like this in it. I know. that I think it probably would have gone down better. Then of course, Jinx in the background going, what a disgusting display of cis heteronormacy. Get a room. And that's the inverted world that Rusty Davis and his production lives in. Like, I found Jinx Monsoon very off-putting in the same way I find Dylan Mulvaney very off-putting. Am I advocating for anything bad to happen to trans people whatsoever? No. But, there's no need for us all to be so seen, right? There's no, white... Shouldn't kept saying, "Oh, I feel so seen." Oh, Jesus, I'm not surprised. Like, how much more seen can anybody possibly be? Was it really that bad? Maybe then you were as like Marmite, either you like it or hate it. Again, that's my working theory. I don't know. I think by the time you get to the end of the series, it'll be. I don't know. Well, let's see where it goes. Again, I'm glad there's only 6 more weeks of this to go. Oh, God, it was a real pain. And I'm going to be back on my main channel either this Saturday or Sunday. I can't decide. By the way, production note that you should know about. Tonight is Yom HaZikaron, the Israel Memorial Day. So there's a siren going to go off, and I need to stand in 2 minutes of silence, right? I'll play a minute silence. I'll play a little video while that's going on. That's going to be about 35 minutes. Oh, and everybody, remind me. This is the stress fest of my life, right? We're in this period called Sfirat HaOmer right now. It's a 49-day period, and each day you count which day it is, right? And you say a blessing. However, if you forget one night, right, you have to count without a blessing during the day. And then you got to count with a blessing again that night, or you lose your blessing for the rest of the period. I have lost my blessing for a long time, for many years. So I don't want to pull that. I got to say it with a blessing tonight. I might do it right after the minute silence or 2 minutes silence, however long it is, right? However long it is. So I'll be back on my main channel now. I have to tell you, I'm quite chuffed with the numbers I'm getting on this backup channel. I mean, I probably would have had a couple of thousand viewers if I was on my main channel. So I got like a couple of 200-300. Yeah, doesn't really make the biggest difference in my life. Anyway, where are we up to? Shall we get to the chat? Let's get to the chat. Also, I really want to try and do Image of Fendel review. I've been holding on for that while, and I finished the Quinn Dilemma with the Colin Baker release. How was it? Well, I'm not buying the next one. So if that answers your question from Big Finish. I am looking forward to the Three Doctors alternative. That sounds pretty good. Operation, what was it? I can't remember. Coming out in a couple of months. Anyway, with that, let's get to chat. Oh, dear, Stardust is there. I don't think I started. Thank you. I still got PTSD from There's Always a Twist at the end. It's like they release it on YouTube or on their Twitter. Look, if you haven't seen it here, let's just pull it up for a second because it's shockingly awful, right? It is shockingly awful. Where is it? Here we go.
There's always a twist. There's always a twist at the end. My friend, yes, there's always a twist at the end.
Now, there's no explanation for this, right? There's no in-universe. They just do a dance number, and they also wink to camera. Let me show you how it starts. Oh, it's so bad. And also, I just found Jinx Monsoon to be ridiculous. I mean, I really genuinely did. Here it is. I can't hear.
There's always a twist.
Here, one second.
Serious. With all my adventures throughout time and space, I have to tell you, there's always a twist at the end.
Like, what? And then they have this big dance number. It goes on and on and on. Okay, and the song wasn't very good either. And there isn't a twist at the end. I'm sorry. There's always a twist. No, there's not. No, there's not. That's ridiculous. There wasn't a twist at the end of... Like what? There was a twist at the end of Genesis of the Daleks? No. I mean, it didn't blow up the Daleks, I guess. I mean, there's not. I mean, Doctor Who. It's not the Twilight Zone. It's not M. Night Shyamalan's Doctor Who. There's not always a twist at the end, right? And I don't know. I just think this is just this intense arrogance of this production. Which they just say, it's going to arrogance and a detachment from reality, right? And believe me, they're going to lie their asses off and come up with some metrics to say how something And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. That was really annoying. That was really, really, really super annoying, right? So, and I've lost the entire chat. The first. Wait a minute, maybe I have to open up here. That was so annoying. Okay, I do full chat. I got to go. Got top chat. Let's do live chat and take it to the. Okay. No, it doesn't go back that far. Never mind. Anyway, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Fine. We will do the chat. We'll get into the chat, and even though I lost most of it. And if I do top chat, I should be able to get back to some of the ones I lost. No, lost it all. Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let's try that again. Darren M is here. You're doing Darren M. Who's that? Who's that first one I was answering? OT Starters. He still has PTSD from There's Always a Twist at the End. That was really the worst part. I mean, that was really the worst part for me. I have to tell you, I really, 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 really didn't like that. Right? I really, really, really was not a fan of that at all. Fine. So Paul Dozen said, Andy Dwelly's here. How you doing, Andy Dwelly? Would have been an interesting 6 years. Great memories from our childhood. Time to move on, I guess. Well, I think that's where a lot of fandom is, right? I don't honestly. We have to see how it plays out. Like, I'm very, very what's the word? Circumspect about saying, it's the end of everything, because like we all live in our little bubbles, in fandom, and and so I don't want to say doom and gloom, right? Doom and gloom, because it's not what I want it to be. I don't know. I think everything about this rollout has been a disaster, including the episodes. Right, including the episodes. I don't know. It's honestly, they would have. Can you imagine how much bigger their ratings would have been had they premiered it at 7:00 UK time and 2 p.m. New York time? Right, you would have had a global watch along phenomena. Right? Can you imagine how much better it would be if their promotion of this new era wasn't done, right? Their promotion of this new era was completely awful. Like, go touch grass, piss off. One of the boys just asked me, "I'm all right." Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Well, I was waiting for the internet to reboot. Oh God, it was a nightmare. Anyway, 15 minutes, the siren's going off, so I want to finish the chat by then, even though I lost the first 25 minutes. If I didn't mention your name, I'm so sorry. I do apologize. Andy Dwell is here. He says, been interesting 6 years, great memories from childhood, time to move on. I think that's where a lot of people are. Dad is here. How you doing, Dad? Say, make no mistake, they are reframing things to suit themselves. I want to make it clear these figures are decidedly average, but we are now powering our way into a new age of broadcasting. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think I think it's a bad sign. Okay, you know in what was it, Reservoir Dogs, when they got Tim Roth, he's all like covered in blood and he's been shot in the gut, and Harvey Keitel's like, it's not good. Do I have that? I'm sure I have that clip. Well, so I think I downloaded Reservoir Dogs. I have a Blu-ray of it, but I didn't rip it because I specifically wanted that. I don't know where it is in the movie though. I'm not going to waste time looking for it. Right? Look, I think they expected the ratings to be stellar. I mean, Russell D. Davies has said as much, right? He was explaining in theme parks, and he thought this was going to be the new Harry Potter, right? I think he's genuinely shocked and amazed that the world isn't the way he thought it was. Right? He's just again. If you missed the beginning of the show, I said there is a large percentage of the world, of the Western world, that has diametrically opposed values to Russell D. Davies. There's a large part of it, right? And you're rubbing at differences in our faces, right? And look, again, there are a lot more Christians out there, right? Devout Christians who believe, and Muslims who believe cross-dressing is immoral, right? Especially hypersexualized cross-dressing. Again, if I was hanging out with Christians, and I like Christians, I have so much respect for Christians, right? They, I think the Christian prayer is, I mean, like, yeah, religious Christians, but I think Christian prayer is so authentic, right, and so real. Why would I say, oh yeah, we didn't kill Christ? I mean, like, why would I bring that up? Oh, it's so annoying, right? It's so annoying. So Paul Tozer here, Mark Cook is here. The horrid over gay cap stereotyping nonsense in the marketing actually made me nostalgic for Jodie. I think Jodie is a worse doctor than Ncuti Gatwa, right? I think she was more miscast than Ncuti Gatwa. I would literally rather watch any other doctor more, right? There's no way I'm buying this on Blu-ray or DVD. I'm not buying the action figure. Forget it, right? And I just think there's I think that they're slowly but surely slithering down their audience, so to make them irrelevant. Again, I think they're heading for Star Trek Discovery irrelevancy, or Star Trek irrelevancy. Although, has that stopped CBS from making irrelevant Star Trek? Not really. No, not at all. Not at all. P.D. Richards here. Generally, it was bad, but at least it was feminism being thrown in our faces, not effeminate homosexuals embraced every 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. I have to say, I would find this era really, really offensive if I was gay, right? Like I know. And it's like, why you make me look like such a dick? I know. Colin Archer's here. Colin Archer was watching Will of the Fan stream a bit earlier. Generally don't know how much more I can take. I haven't seen, is he pro or anti? I think he's probably anti, right? I think. Look. I'm going to try and go to each episode with an open mind. I hate the breaking the fourth wall, right? I think I hate them breaking the fourth wall. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It really is. I hated Jinx Monsoon. I thought they were, right? I can't remember. That's so stupid. I thought Jinx Monsoon was just kind of ridiculous, right? And I thought it was just too camp to be scary. Ryan O says the fundamental problem with RTD2 is that the Doctor is always vulnerable, but always does the right thing. His relations are paternal and protective. You see, I think the reason Doctor Who was always Doctor Who was always, I don't know, so beloved and so done so well is because the Doctor was a fallible hero, right? You know, he was kind of pompous and he got his feelings hurt. You know, I like, and we kind of like that about him, right? It's the foibles that make you love the character, right? Tom Baker with the Olympian detachment. That's how he would describe it. And again, and you had that, with Capaldi to a great extent. I find this Doctor just kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get in touch with him or Jodie, right? Jodie because I think she'll kill me. Him because he would want to have sex with me because that seems to be really, really what he's into, right? And there's so much innuendo going on. His relations are paternal and protective. Yeah, but you can't be paternal if you're if you're not paternal. What can you say? What are we up to? So Ryan is here. Rusty Davis' sexualized, cowardly version. This isn't the Doctor. It really didn't feel at all like Doctor Who to me. Right? I thought the Space Babies was. No, but like I said, the trouble with Space Babies, it had all the politics, like just right all the way through it, right? Going all the way through it. Fine, so then on Frozen, Matthew Burrows said we on Frozen, who were. Doctor peaking under 3 million, Eurovision got peaking at over 8. Yeah, that's a big indictment, right? That Doctor Who got nothing, and then it went boom straight up for Euro, right? No. Fine to Darren Evans. Wow, I like that that little gif you pointed of waiting. M. Night Shyamalan's Doctor Who. That's something I will watch. I probably would have watched it in the 90s. He hasn't made a good movie for years. I don't know. Everything he does there always has a twist in the end, right? There's always some crap. There was some crap at the end. I mean, it was. I hated the dance number. I hated dance number, and I was somewhat nauseated by Jinx Monsoon. So and I also hated the song. There's very little to recommend. The Devil's Cord, right? I like the bit where they go to the present and they do like the Pyramids of Mars thing and see the world destroyed. Although that's kind of interesting, but it was. In Pyramids of Mars. Marco Magnesium's here. In all my adventures in time and space, there's always the credits at the end. That's the other thing. The way that Jinx Monsoon breaks a full thought. Actually, we'll get to that when I do the review of it, which is actually quite good, right? In this, I don't know. I think that quite. Something else I thought actually quite worked is Russell's take on the Timeless Children, right? Saying that he was adopted, taken in by the Time Lords. It sounds like, again, there's been a whole lot of lore between Jodie and this Doctor Who, right? It sounds like there's been a whole lot of stuff going on. And him being adopted doesn't sound like the Timeless Children to me, right? Maybe because Russell's writing it with, not confidence, with proficiency. Whereas Chibnall didn't have that option, right? Moffat was writing episode 3. I'm going to be interested to see episode 3, but I don't know. Is there anything you can do to get around, the self-absorption of Ncuti Gatwa? I mean, it's like it was kind of fun with the Sixth Doctor when it was like playing being self-absorbed and being arrogant, but like this one he just really is, right? Hope Rabbit's okay, says Rhino. Yes, I am. Thank God. Yeah, there we go. Monk Manisa said hello to you. Every time I worry the Rabbi's okay. Well, believe me, I also worry the Rabbi's okay. Although you say that Mark says, who said I'm a long way from the main action? Where was it? Imagine if he came back and said the Rabbi, it's Jodie Whittaker and Jinx Monsoon. Well, that would be weird, right? That would be weird. Somebody said it's I'm sick wrong. 7 minutes. I've got to remember that. Everyone refresh your browser. No, I'm back here now. What was Ncuti wearing that looked like my mother's blouse in the 1970s? Next time, I hope he wears a long scarf coat, so I didn't notice him. Yeah. Look, he does look. His main costume is very gay, right? Which is everything about the production is very gay. It's just very gay. The Great Bird is here. There's a danger when inspiration for a script is found in soiled nappies that you create you create just that a mess that stinks. Although again, I like if it wasn't for all the obnoxious politics running all the way through it, that would have been fun. But there's just so much obnoxious politics. Says the Slaughter Engines. It was stunning and brave for Rosalie Davis to turn the Doctor into a show full of body humour and let the stunning and brave snot monster live. Maybe we will be. Maybe we'll let the last Dalek live. Oh, Ecky Thump. I don't know. Rabbit's on it. Oh, there you are. Yes, I do like that 007 intro. Marcus says, good evening, Rabbi. Someone was saying, as a gay man, we hate the feminization portrayal of gay shooting. Yeah, what happened to butch gay people? I mean, like, really? I kind of like that, right? I don't know, but that's it. No. Now he's John Ibben in space. Not all gays are like that, but yeah, listen, if I was gay, I'd be really offended. It's like, you pick if you did Doctor Who about Jews and you pick like the worst Jews humanly possible. I'm like, no, I don't want them. Especially not all gays are like that because we have to respect the kids. Yes, this is going right into the 1950s stereotypes of like, oh, you want to watch out for gays? They kind of look like, yeah. This is so regressive, right? This is so insanely regressive. The geopolitical crisis is completely irrelevant. Everyone involved has been dead for 2 millennia. I know, but I wouldn't like rub it in their bloody face, right? I mean, why would I bring up a difference, right? It's like, because genuinely, I like Christians, and I like Christians on a spiritual level, right? I like Christian prayer. I think it's very, very authentic, right? And Christian, okay, difference between Christians and Jews, I'm going to go 4 minutes, is, well, amongst the Christians, but amongst the differences. We're coming up to the anniversary of the 6-Day War in a couple of weeks, right? And I got a great docudrama about that made by Christians, and they were like, praise God, praise be, it's a miracle. And Jews like, a bit embarrassed, right? I tell you, I hope Disney dumps the show on Disney Plus and cancels the show as soon as contractually possible. I actually hope so too, right? I actually hope so too. I think that's very, very likely. I think that's the most likely case scenario. I don't see this going to a 3rd season, right? And also, I think if my normie relative, my daughter or my son or my wife walks in while the Space Babies are on, because that special effect I think was very weak. It didn't work at all. It didn't seem real that they were talking. In fact, that whole episode was based around, we got so much money we could do the special effect. They're supposed to be walking around the babies, right? But they couldn't do that. And the lip sync, it didn't really work. My normie friends will be like, that looks like shit, right? And I think Jigsaw soon will chase a lot more people off. I think the dance number will chase people off. I don't think you're going to end up with a much smaller base, right? Paul says I find it offensive. I'm not surprised. Okay, we agree. We agree on a lot of things. I would have called it Carry On Doctor Who, except the Carry On scripts had double entendres. Russell and Davis were pretty single entendres. Yes, I know. Head over to Rumble and sub to my channel there. Yes, that's the place to be. Roger Corman passed away. I'm so sad to hear that. Roger Corman was such an important guy. Who was it? He gave a start to a lot of people. James Cameron. He had an absolute wonderful working environment. He made shit, but what can I tell you? I think so. Get on to Senssphere after this. He's on at 7. And also Noel's on at 7. I got to catch up with Noel. I really got to hear his channel. You said it about I'm more a butch homosexual. Okay, well, that's good. It's just like having a liberal revisionist Jew representing Israel. It's awful, right? It's actually. I remember. That actually reminds me. Okay, the Simon's about to go off. But I remember one Passover. It was Live Aid, right? Live Aid. It was Freddie Mercury, like being super butch, right? Being super butch, like flicking his tongue into camera. I remember my grandmother. And this was at Passover with big family Seder. Everybody sits around while we're waiting to start. And they're like, oh, look at him. He's so... Yeah, I don't know. Who was it? I think Simon Horton, who I want to see a buddy movie with Jinx Monsoon and Simon Horton, right? From the Typhoon. Because he's so normal. He's just a wall of normalcy, right? Connected to, compared to Jinx Monsoon, like, yeah, baby, we should all oil our nipples, kids. Yeah, like whatever weird shit they're gonna do, right? He loved it, but I think he said, can you be camp and have gravitas? Oh, there's a siren. Okay, fine. Let me put a video on. I got to stand up. 1 second. I wasn't sure if it's a 2-minute siren or a 1 minute siren. All right. Let's have a look. Colin Archer says, it occurred to me that the earlier that the lip sync could be used as a story point. Why aren't the lips moving properly? Because you're actually hearing it via the TARDIS translation made. Yeah, there are ways of explaining it. They just didn't bother. Like, there's a way of explaining how the Doctor brought the butterfly back to life, right? But what? Why are we doing that, right? Why do we have to do that? You know, that's basically my point. Fine. Let's go through Space Babies, right? So make sure everyone's up to speed, because I think that's kind of fair, right? Because I think most people aren't watching it. Type and Carl stand in fair bit of time. They wind about. Oh, that's why I want to see a Shooty Gatwa, Simon Horton buddy movie. It will be awesome, right? And I'm not saying that to mean to Simon. I'm saying that because I just love how normal he is, right? Simon is like, again, the barometer for normalcy. And he's just like, oh, really? Fine. Let's start. Let's go through what this episode is. Fly Island is here. Doing Fly Island. Share screen. Now again, I quite like the title sequence. I think it's a bit unnecessarily expensive, which is how I find most of this. Looks beautiful, right? It looks absolutely beautiful. You know, I was where was this? Yeah, it was this magazine over here. Or this one, I should say. I was reading this on Saturday during the day, on Sabbath, right? The 1 second. Which is basically a bunch of this are 2 volumes, but this is a bunch of, like, you know, fan celebrities talking about, you know, individual stories. And Stephen Moffat's talk about Ark in Space, right? Was talking about how, where was it? Let me read it out to you. Fine, this is a bit. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Bubble wrap, lots of it. This is talking about Ark in Space. Lots of jokes out there. Endless hilarity if you've got the IQ of a pod life or television critic. And if you didn't know that bubble wrap was new and never heard of back then, forget it. Losing the will to live, who cares? Quite honestly, suffice to say that the pod life have had a sort of 19 years to think of a good gag about bubble wrap monster, and they still haven't managed it. Okay, everything you need to know about television journalism is right there. And again, the inverse is this new era, right? This is what I'm really intrigued to see Stephen Moffat's take on this, right? Who knows? Everything you need to know about television. And the important thing about Doctor Who is not that people could see things, could see the strings. It's that 41 years later, people are still looking at them. So true, right? Do you think in 40 years later, you're going to have Shooty Gatwa doing a big finish or whatever? No. I don't think these episodes are going to be remembered ever, right? I really don't. Just like Jodie's one. The only reason Timeless Child remembers is because they keep bringing up here. Now, here's the thing. Doctor Who doesn't look cheap. Never did. That's a myth. Easily exposed and sent packing. Doctor Who was cheap and made at speed. Now, I think that there's a lot of virtue in that, right? I think you get a when you have a sausage factory, right, of like something of creators of Endeavour, which I think season 15 is very much a expression of, or 2000 AD, right? When you have to make things fast, right? It makes, that speed, that churning, that again, the sausage factory of it just gets you, brings out brilliance, brings out excellence, right? Which is what we're not seeing today, right? It was 26 episodes a year at the time. Okay, 20 by this point, churned out. Shown forgotten. It was factory made. It was filler. It was perfect example of disposable television. And because it was done with intelligence and integrity, it's still being talked about today. And it ran for 26 years and is still loved the world over. So this was written in 2004, I think, just before the new era started. The RTD one started. And you may have heard it's coming back next year. Big stars and lots of money. Why is it exactly? Well, because it's brilliant, of course. Only way that ever happens is because only way you ever get that kind of world-beating success is brilliance. And there's not brilliance in this, right? There is not brilliance. Let failures tell you different. Let failures whine from their armchairs that it can only be about luck or changing viewing patterns. No, again, I don't think anybody's going to be talking about this in the future, right? Or the way the cookie somewhere crumbles. Whatever that means, rubbish. You want success, get brilliant, right? Brilliant like Doctor Who. And this one, again, looks beautiful. Wasn't brilliant like Doctor Who. Could you imagine if this was brilliant like Doctor Who and looked this good? Oh, what a world to live in, right? The Ark in Space is manifestly cheap. That's true, right? It was made quickly. The sets are ingenious, but you have to be blind to think they're anything other than sets. It's overlit plastically where it isn't cardboardy. The model work is some Airfix and some blackboard. And in Grand Doctor tradition, you can tell which characters are going to die first by the rubbish level of acting. That's so true. That's so true. Shooting will be the first one down in this one then. Funny the Doctor never notices. I'm sorry, Sarah. There's nothing I could do for him. He keeps stressing the wrong words and sprays a bit when he's excited. But Doctor, isn't that your own seventh incarnation? Shh. So what saved it then? What makes it a classic? Okay, here's the important bit. The effects, of course, the special effects, of course. No, not those ones. Those are rubbish. Right, of course, they are. I mean, those courtesy of Robert Holmes. You see, Ark in Space, with its sound down, is a small number of people in a cardboard rooms talking a lot with some drunks in a comedy insect head costumes bumping into walls. Oh, and there's a guy doing a comedy routine with a glove puppet and giving children of the 1970s the sternest warning about the dangers of self-abuse. There's nothing to warn you about. It's all awesome. But with the sound up, here he is. With the sound up, with all that perfectly judged melodrama pouring out of Tom Baker, you just believe it. That's the point, right? I wasn't buying any of this, right? And it looked gorgeous, right? It looked absolutely gorgeous. To me, again, this is a real opposite of what Doctor Who is, right? It genuinely is. But having said that, I do quite like the title sequence. I just wish it was the title sequence something good. And you know what? I think the reason they're like really going for the traditional look is to legitimize look. Woke is a in terms woke in media is taking a franchise with an existent strong fan base, or Doctor Who used to have an existent strong fan base, using it as a platform for divisive politics, right? Divisive sociology and politics. And I think the way they kosher at it, to make it kosher, I should say, to use the Hebrew word, is by leaning into as much tradition as you can, like this logo. Right, again, could you imagine if there was any good? Anyway, Space Babies. What an awful title for a pretty mediocre episode. So anyway, it starts off, we recap the Church on Ruby Road, and she's going into the TARDIS. It's a traditional meeting the TARDIS thing. Who are you? I'm the Doctor. I hate his voice, right? I really do hate his voice. It just doesn't seem to carry authority to me, right? So we start off with like info dump. We get they like this TARDIS. He snaps his fingers and TARDIS changes colors. I understand. I'm sure coordinating the lighting was a massive technical challenge, right? I'm sure building this TARDIS was a massive technical challenge. It was time and money wasted, right? It is sterile, boring, and way too big. Even with a jukebox in there. So then you get an info dump. He's from another planet. He's 1,000 years old. What's your name? The Doctor. It says, the planet that took him in because he was adopted. They're all posh. Everybody had posh names like, the Rani or the Doctor or the Master or So I'm the doctor, right? And he said, use it for 1,000 years, it kind of sticks, right? And she's like, okay. So then he tells her we can go anywhere in time and space. We see the clip where the bit where they launch the TARDIS and they go flying up in the air, and like it just. Yeah, this just seems like a silly Doctor Who skit running out. So then they arrive and they're in the age of the dinosaurs, and Mill is very impressed, right? I'm not so impressed, frankly. I'm going to say Walking with the Dinosaurs was in 2003, was it? Primeval was in 2006. I mean, these are like 20-year-old shows, and again, this doesn't look any more impressive to me, frankly. So then before they go in, what if I step on a butterfly here? When we're over here, she goes, but what if I step on a butterfly and think, well, don't worry, nobody steps on a butterfly. You got to go find a butterfly to step on, right? So he said, this is going to be Wyoming. And then, yes, of course, she steps on a butterfly, turned into a lizard person who's a mean lizard person, still looks kind of hot, and says that she'll have to kill him or whatever if he's telling her she did something wrong. So don't worry, no, didn't do anything wrong. And he picks up the butterfly and blows into it, and it flies off back to life, right? So again, you can explain this in different ways. You can say the field of temporal grace was extended from the TARDIS, but the thing was already dead. I don't know. It was. Look, this is Harry Potterville. This is what it is. This is Harry Potter. Yeah, definitely in the Harry Potter. How do you bring it back? I don't know. Right, and you're supposed to not notice because of that big smile and all his charisma, which he burnt away to nothing. Right, he burnt away to nothing by telling us all to go to touch grass, and they're like, "Okay, you're back now. Nothing happened. Let's go back into the TARDIS." And again, this is a very gay look, Shooty. I don't know what to tell you. You look very, very gay. I wish you didn't look so gay. And again, you're kind of a mincing gay. You're not like, a cool gay person. It's like, I don't know. So then they go, where are they going next? So then they go on the next trip and they end up in this very expensive CGI space station. Looks kind of like something from 2000 AD. Lovely design, lovely work, but for what? Really, for what? So they go looking around. And they're like they're in the bowels of this space station, and he's checking out, and there's a monster there, which we see through the not shaky, we see through like the CCTV, which means everything looks cheaper. So the monster turns up, and Doctor shits himself, right, and runs. They get into an elevator, and they go up, and they make it into the upper part of the space station. Oh, man. You know what? Watch this back to back with World Enough in Time, right? Which is a very similar opening, just so much cleverer. Man, Capaldi was such a great doctor. So they're trying to work out where they are, and it's a baby factory, right? All these babies are being grown there, but they can't really find anyone. And it's for a colony planet. So he's trying to work out. Oh yeah, so now we replay this scene from the End of the World. We replay a couple of scenes. Was it End of the World, or I think either the End of the World or what's that Mark Gatiss one? The second episode, the Dickens one, right? I think it's all from End of the World. So like she sees an alien world. And we get this really weird speech from Shooty, right? Said, this is so cool. So he said, you're an orphan and everything. So how do you keep going? And he said, well, yeah, because I don't have a job. I don't have responsibilities. I have freedom. And here's the thing. Freedom is a good thing when you're young in life, right? But being tied down to other people enriches your life. Being tied down to things enriches your life. Being tied to a community. Right, these are good things in life. Like if you're still running and being a kid, in your 40s or 50s, you've wasted your life. Right, you have wasted your life. Right, if you're still the example I always give, right, You know, newborn babies are super duper duper cute, right? Well, what's disappointing? Greetings, everyone. Well, that's the. Well, was it disappointing? No, it was way worse than disappointing, right? It was way. Look, my episode on your channel last night, Dr. Alex, so much more Doctor Who. I mean, like, not even close. So much more Doctor. In fact, go and check it out, everyone, because I would like you to listen to it and go, "Oh man, that's so much more Doctor Who." It's broken into 3 parts. You can do it in like 3 20-minute bits. And Dr. Alex's reading of it is brilliant. Right? I have to tell you, it's really good the way he put it together. Anyway. He talks about not having responsibilities. Oh, yeah, so I'm saying babies are cute, right? But if you have a 5-year-old doing the same thing a baby is, it's a tragedy. 5-year-olds are cute. If you have a 10-year-old doing the same thing a 5-year-old doing, it's a tragedy. 10-year-olds are cute, amazingly. But if you have a 10-year-old doing the same thing, a 15-year-old doing the same thing a 10-year-old does, it's a tragedy. 20-year-olds, not so cute, but actually they are kind of cute. But they're still stuck to MNT at 15 at the age of 20. Tragedy. 25-year-old, right? Shouldn't be doing the same thing a 20-year-old's doing. A 30-year-old should have moved on and not be doing the same shit a 20-year-old is doing, or a 25-year-old. 35, 40. Shooty's doctor is advocating being a constant child, right? And the downside of being a constant child is you have a much emptier life, right? You have a much, you generally think you have a less rewarding life, right? And I did, yeah, this is essentially morality plays made by people who don't understand morality. So they're on the planet Pacifico del Rio. They're doing lots of info dumps. Said, "Oh look, the TARDIS translates it. It's more like Cantonese nowadays." And then he did this with Rose, right? He made it so she can call home, and they say, and she's calling back on Christmas, right? Hello, fine. Hello, Mum. And look, and obviously her mother's going to be black because, yeah, again, Russell only sees the woke in general only ever see immutable characteristics. Like for them, it's very important that like Shooty's being black and gay makes his performance a lot better in their eyes because they're insane. So anyway, then the babies turn up, right? And it's a really bad effect. Here, let me play you a clip with the babies because the babies are just like, I'm shocked how bad it is. Space babies. 1 second. Let's see if we can see them talking.
Space babies. Hello, Daddy. Hi, Daddy.
I mean, let's see if we see one talk. Oh yeah, so obviously the captain of the ship is the black female baby.
And I kept the station running for Mummy and Daddy because we knew you'd come back for us one day.
I just find it a really, ineffective special effect, right? It just wasn't very good, right? And it would be okay if Doctor Who was cleverer, and this isn't clever. This is Russell Davies screaming about his insane politics. And look, Russell, you need to get over it. You were wrong. Oh, that's how simple this was. You were wrong about Trump, right? You were wrong about everything in politics, right? Do you see years and years? That was the opposite of what's really going down, right? You were wrong. And you need to get over it. You need to stop going, no, Trump's the worst. Oh, Brexit, Tories, Nobody likes the fucking Tories. Like, literally nobody likes the Tories. Yeah, if assuming Labour gets in, nobody's going to like Labour either in 3 years. They're going to hate them too, right? It's even Martha's version was completely different. Yeah, of doing that bit, I agree with you, right? So space rugrats are soda engines. Yeah, exactly. But again, this is a very juvenile approach to babies. Oh, babies, so cute, right? And yeah, babies are cute, right? But this baby looks terrified, generally speaking. But like they playing the babies off as Cabbage Patch dolls. So they go and they find there's a whole bunch of babies zooming around in wheelchairs. Why are they in wheelchairs? Because they couldn't afford to have them walking around. Apparently, couldn't afford to have them talking either. And they're trying to work out what's going on. They think that they're the mummy and daddy, and they're running the space station somehow with pulleys and stuff. She's a captain, obviously. So, oh God, he has this narcissistic moment with Shooty. Oh God, it's awful. Where she says, is there something wrong with us that they left us behind? Right? Or did I grow up wrong? And she says, no one ever grows up wrong. Everyone's the person they really should be. So that for that reason, right, you need to, if you feel like you're a boy in a girl's body, absolutely, or a girl in a boy's body, you should absolutely cut your testicles off, right? You should have gender affirming care. I mean, this is the opposite of what you're saying, but they've never thought through they've never thought through their worldview that carefully, obviously. Shooty is like, hi, I'm gay. Everything about him is like super gay. Right, so they found out they never had hugs, and so they start hugging the babies. And okay, quite a good shot with a zoom in when they're trying to work out what's going on. And so, how do you survive? So we had nanny look after us, right? Oh God. And this is Shooty saying, "Yeah, you're born perfect. You can even be as good as me." Also, oh God, can I pull up that clip? It's so narcissistic, right? It's so narcissistic. It's kind of shocking. Let me see if I can get that clip because it's awful. Where is it? No, it was before this. Definitely before this. Where is it? Here we go. Again, I think they thought this was the I am the doctor moment, right? And it really wasn't.
You are.
And you want to know my secret? There's no one like me.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
But Mommy and Daddy left us.
That's okay. Mine did too.
What happened?
Well, I was found.
I can't find a mug in the camera. It's around there, but I don't want to get I don't want to get a strike on this bloody channel too. Anyway, oh God. Yeah, and like, this is what people think being relatable to children is like if you don't know much about children, right? Lily looks good as a babysitter. Like, she's convincing me as a babysitter. Not much more, right? Not much more. Then they all sneeze and the robot arms come out and they get their boogers and they put them down this tube, right? Amazingly, that's actually a plot point, right? That is actually a plot point. Fine. So they're trying to work out what's going on, and there's they bring up a picture of the monster. They start they all start crying because who's gonna see? Okay, fine. No, don't cry. And then Shooty finds out there's a area of high pressure. So again, these are minor plot points that paid off later. And then they find out there's a place they can go to, Portal 357, right? So off they go. Come on, Ruby Sunday, let's go to Portal 357. Fine. As they're walking, this is actually quite an interesting bit. But again, it's like picking out bits that aren't shit in a pile of poo, right? So they're talking, and all of a sudden, boom, he flashes back to meeting Ruby Sunday for the first time, crying as always. And the person who dropped or who abandoned her, who could it be, right? Pointing a finger, and it's snowing, and then the snow comes through to this time. So there's something weird going on with Ruby in terms of like she's like connected to that point in space and time in a very visceral way, right? And this is the plot of the season that they're going to play out. Okay, so there really is snowing, and they're like, well, this is weird. So then they find out that the AI looking after them is really a woman, And she's coming quickly, in you come. And so then we get another info dump. The evil Tory government. That's what's going on here. The evil Tory government decided to shut down the space station, but there's illegal to turn off the baby machine, the baby making machines. So the babies will just die horribly, right? And they're all like registering their protest. I think that woman is the same one she's in every episode. She must be the big bad, right? Whoever that woman is. But she was what's her name? The Isaac Newton, Asian Isaac Newton's housekeeper, I think. I think she was also in. She's in every episode, I believe. Anyway, I think we have no choice, but we protest. So she's the accountant, and she stayed on to look after the kids. She doesn't really know how to run the space station, and she's like winging it. So the doctor comes along, and he like starts to work through that. And then there's the monster down below. The monster turned up 6 years ago when the babies were born. And then they see So when they're with the kids, they said, "There's no such thing as monsters. Don't worry." So this baby goes down and says, "Look, you said there's no thing on monsters, so I'm going to prove that to her. There's no such thing as monsters." And they go right into the monster. So then Shooty and Millie goes running off to save him, and when they just get to the wheelchair in the end, right? They go looking around, and the baby is in a closet for some reason. I don't know. And again, Millie looks good. She looks like a good babysitter, right? So, fine. The monster shows up again. Scary monster. And the doctor shits himself and runs, right? I mean, like, honestly, this isn't that scary for the doctor. I mean, so he shits himself and runs. And they go and hide. Yeah, they go and hide. And again, the doctor is very, very scared. And eventually they work out he was designed to, the monster's designed to scare you because he puts together a certain pitch in its scream. I mean, again, the doctor should really be able to get over it. If you can bring a butterfly back to life, he should be able to get over that fear. Really, I think. The monster's about to get them, and suddenly flamethrowers, gets them away. And it's the cute babies, led by the stunning and brave black baby girl, who makes the monster run away, right? This is perhaps the only cute bit of the whole episode, when they thought this was going to be cute overload. So his pusher comes back, and they send them all upstairs, and they go looking for the monster. And the Ruby comes with him, and he said, "Don't come with me." Everything's like covered in goo, right? And she gets goo on her head. And then you find out what's really going on. Info dump that when the babies were made, the AI nanny program was damaged or something, and it knows that babies needed a bogeyman, a monster, because they like to be scared. So he created a bogeyman for them, literally out of bogies, right? When they blow their nose, they take the snot and use that to create the monsters, right? So she finds out that she's covered in snot, and she's not happy with it. Doctor laughs her head off. That actually I found like quite doctorish, right? Laughing like being a bit of a dick. I kind of like that bit. The monster shows up again, and they chase it into an airlock, right? And then the woman says, "I'm going to blow out the airlock, just like just like the end of Aliens," right? So then they start doing that, and the doctor feels bad, like, just like I'm the only person who's me ever. The snot monster is the only snot monster like him ever, right? We got to save him. So she sends Ruby back to the control room to try and get to close the door, while he goes into the airlock, and all the babies are watching. Apparently, he to save the monster. And again, look, I remember Peter Davison, being able to survive in space for like, what was it, 4 or 5 minutes? So I don't think this is a big deal, right? The snot monster is having the snot ripped out of him, literally, and clings on. He falls onto by the door, and with again quite a good display of strength, right, which I think the doctor really needs to have, he managed to close the door. But the whole thing is just a bit, like, no one's really bad, apart from, like, Invisible Enemy, which I think is kind of a shit story. You have Tom Baker in it, saying, like defending the giant prawn as a virus, right to life, but not when it becomes macro and threatens to destroy other life. So anyway, she goes, no, you gotta let them let it live, and then they hug, because that's, I guess so. And then, so fine. So the baby. So we've had abortion arguments at this time, and again, Russell, if you want to have, here's the problem, right? Of you having these conversations, that your take on it is moronic and insulting, right? So they said when they said they had the baby making machine, and the evil Tory government wouldn't let them turn it off. They said, they don't mind babies being born, but they don't care about them afterwards. It's so weird. And Ruby's like, oh no, we have that on our world too. No, actually, no. Excuse me. And there's this, just like the drag world isn't under attack. We just don't want your degenerate perversion in schools, right? Being aimed at children, right? And when it's not aimed at children, it's not degenerate perversion. It's consenting adults living their lives, right? When you have to involve children in this, then it's degenerate perversion. That's really the difference, right? Leave the kids alone, right? Just as David Denton says, leave the kids alone, you fucking weirdos, right? And just leave the kids alone. 8-Bit Stick Boy says, definitely dumbed down from modern. It's super dumbed down. It's really, again, you watch this back to back with Rose. Rose is so much more layered and intelligent and interesting. And this is not, frankly. So anyway, so you have an anti-abortion argument. Okay, so let's just be clear. The places in America where they restrict abortion to, I think it is till there's a heartbeat, right? After there's a heartbeat, you can't perform abortions in some states in America. And they want to frame this as an evil white male patriarchy method of controlling women. No, this is a different moral set of standards, which is why America works as a republic. Because why should the people in LA, the immoral pieces of shit that live in LA, dictate their morality to their moral superiors who are in, like, the Bible Belt, right? Why should they do that? And same vice versa, right? Making it down to the states' rights. No, it's just we hate women and we hate babies and we're evil. And again, if you want to have a conversation about abortion, fine. Like, doctor, when does that clump of cells become a human being, right? At what point are you killing a human being when you do an abortion? And again, if you want to say never, right? Then that's anti-science. Like, how's it growing if it's not alive? All right, and I'm not dogmatically telling you what I believe is 100% truth. I'm saying there are two sides of this story. There are two sides to this, and the idiotic way Rusty Davis is presenting this is disgraceful. But it gets more disgraceful in a minute, because they said they got to get the babies to a refugee planet, but refugees have to touch this, they won't come and get them. No, they have to make it to the shores first before they can get refugee status. And look, Russell, mate, this uncontrolled illegal immigration that's become in vogue throughout the world now, who does it benefit, right? Not poor people, not black people, not brown people, right? I don't know who it's benefiting. It's destroying society. Right, it is destroy. Like, okay, look, immigration, great thing. Like what? Look, somebody moves to America, somebody moves to England. Take on the culture of the country you're immigrating to. Right, do that. Right? No. I'm going to keep my Afghanistan, my Afghani culture, and you just got to pay me. Right, essentially, like this. So anyway, so it's a rather cloying thing about immigration. and the doctors worked out how so the doctor needs to work out how to get these space babies to the nice immigration planet, right? And so he's and also the monster now is like a friendly dog and just howls and goes, "Yay!" So apparently the build-up of pressure in the wherever it was all the nappies being stored. It wasn't vented into space. So it's all the methane gas, and they basically fart the spaceship to the nice refugee planet, right? And also the Doctor's somewhat inappropriate during that as well. Let me see if they have to keep shutting him up before he says he gets out of line. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, this is the bit, I think. It was before this.
The world is over here. The world of Mondokaroon. But you can't get there. Got no engines. Except, turns out that built-up oppression hull 3B is from you.
So it's marginally better than Jodie.
Because the system went wrong, and that's where it stacked up all your nappies. No wonder it was stinking down there. For 6 years, a great pile of nanny fizzle.
Yeah, it was about he was about to say shit. I'm sorry. This is I want to remind you, the vastly superior episode of the two, right? So then he gives Ruby Sunday a key, and they head into the TARDIS, and off. And he says the one place I can't take you is the church on Ruby Road, right? I can't take you back there when they find out who your mother is. And then she goes back and visits, but I'll take you to see your parents, the adopted parents. And again, this really annoys me, right? This really annoys me. This next bit. They materialize in the kitchen, destroying the ceiling, right? And she turns back up on Christmas Day. And Dr. smiles, and she's doing covert scans on Ruby Sunday. Can we zoom in and see what they're actually saying? So they're saying DNA scan, Ruby Sunday, and age, Homo sapien. So yeah, this is there's something going on with Ruby Sunday, and they don't know what it is, and then finished. Oh god, it was not a fun experience. Yeah, it's the best way I can explain it. Not a fun experience at all, right? Infinitely better, right? Infinitely better than the Jigs Monsoon episode. This one still was kind of vaguely in the same vein as Doctor Who, right? Yeah, but it's kind of vaguely in the same vein. Much more than the next episode. How would I rate this? As an episode, out of 10. It's got a weak plot, lots of exposition. I'm sick to death of Shooty. It didn't make me smile. It just irritated me. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, right? We saw covert scans again in Series 6. I remember that. Right. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, which is not, that stellar. Let's be fair, right? It's not doing that well. Where is it? Hang on a second. Now I've got to find where's that window I had? Go doink. Yeah. So yeah, the ratings have not been good, right? The ratings. I mean, look. Here's the thing. If you compare this to something average on today, like 3 Body Problem, it's about the same, right? It's in the same ballpark as any shit made today. You compare it to Doctor Who, it's not so good, right? Not so good. So again, this didn't do very well, right? 2.6 debut overnight. And people say, oh, look, the way people watch TV now is totally different. I'm sorry. I don't think it's that different, frankly. Right? I think, the from Christmas, they got 4.773, and they bumped it up like 2.5 million, right? I don't see 3 million maximum, right? I think 3 million maximum. They're going to bump it up, and these are even with the bullshit figures from iPlayer, right? And was it Disney Plus ratings were also awful? Let me find the like they didn't reach the top 10 on the 11th. It didn't reach the top 10 11th. I think it got the top 10 for the 12th, right? Yeah, it was. Oh no. Really? Wow, it's not even on the top 10 for the 10th, for the 12th. Where is it? Do we have over here maybe? Okay, so the top 10 in the United States on May the 12th. Let me share the screen. Let me grab this image. Where is it? Full screen. Share screen. So top 10 overall is so it got to number 4 in the TV shows, and there's a Simpsons movie called May the 12th Be With You. Never heard of that. Must be new, right? So yeah, top 10 overall, number 5. What does that probably mean? A couple of 100,000 viewers, probably, if that. It's not. It's like everything else in Disney Plus, about to be forgotten forever, right? It's about to be completely forgotten forever. And bless him, Russell Davis had such incredible hopes and plans for this. Let me pull this up. Where is it? And doink. Share screen. Rossi Davis, Doctor Who dreams from cosplay to theme parks. Yeah, look, again, he's got this bonkers delusion that most people are on board with. He's got a bonkers delusion that really he's winning the cultural war when they're hands down losing it, right? They think this is another loss for Russell. It's a new dawn for Doctor Who, the iconic British sci-fi show. Again, it's really not that sci-fi show anymore. It used to be a charming little show, right? Like a charming, clever little show. This is not charming at all. It's like, again, it's more made by it's charming in the same way a gay rapist is charming. The iconic British sci-fi TV show is now a partnership between BBC and Disney. Oh, really? I hadn't noticed. I mean, we're debuting it on Disney, obviously. Everything revolves around America, which has opened up a world opportunity for the show, its cast and creators, in which they pissed on the wall, and the fans. 2024 has never been bigger or more accessible and never got lower ratings. Never had less people watching it. Here, Battlefield. 1 second. Doctor Who Battlefield. This is the lowest rated classic episode. Classic. This is low. 3.1. Right? And look, if you're going to compare, I think comparing the overnight to this overnight is completely comparable. Like people would record it and watch it, right? It was so 3.1. I think is a very low rating, right? And also the population's gone up. Everything about this is doing very badly, right? I just think it's doing very badly. And he thought it'd be the biggest thing ever, best thing since sliced bread. It's a new dawn for Doctor Who, the iconic British sci-fi show. Blah 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 blah. 20 have been bigger and more accessible, or lesser watched, I'm afraid. The writer Sharon Russell Davis couldn't be happy about that. Well, how you feeling today, Russell? Among the big changes is that the Doctor now plays shooting guard does not have a traditional trademark outfit. Yeah, and it's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. Them putting on different clothes for the 60s episode, I thought was okay. So one of the few things about that I thought was okay, right? Something every single one of the other 14 actors, well, 14, I guess so, played. There's a continued rotation of fresh outfit, looks, vibes. Did that involve a lot of high-level discussions? To be honest, they were much smaller discussions than you would imagine. Well, they should have been higher level. The Welshman explains. The Welshman. It was simple, very straightforward, but I know it feels like a big deal breaker. I came to the show with the notion thinking, why do we keep repeating the same clothes? To be blunt, with a bigger budget, we have the freedom to play. Again, that you have the money doesn't make it worth spending the money on, right? Doesn't make it a good idea. Like, we have more money. No, but you have iconic looks, right, for every Doctor that you would recognize in a second, right? Oh, man, do you remember that there was a bit in, what was it, Name of the Doctor, where you see Colin Baker, you see the Sixth Doctor just walking behind Clara or something, and it was electric, right? It was here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the Name of the Doctor. It was the one before the Day of the Doctor. And it's just, I think it made the character more iconically relatable, I would say. Where was it? Name of the Doctor here. Where we see like the other Doctors walking around in the background. Where is it? Oh, yeah, wasn't that at the beginning as well? Oh, yeah, a 5.
Thing I remember. I have to save the Doctor.
Yeah, look at that. I'm sorry. And that was the shittest costume Doctor Who ever wore, right? And it sends shivers down your spine because it bleeds the character. I love that.
Thing I remember. I have to save the Doctor. He always looks different. Doctor! I always know it's him. Sometimes.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well. Actually, that looks better than I remember. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a good, and you have a variation on a theme, but it's like, it doesn't really work. The idea partly came from Davis's long history of watching Doctor Who cosplayers. I don't go to conventions, but I know what cosplay is. Yeah, I'm sure. I see it. I know how much people love it. And you know why people cosplay? Because they want to emulate an iconic look. But there is no iconic look for this Doctor. It occurred to me that cosplayers love detail. If the Doctor wears T-shirt just one scene, they'll go and find that one T-shirt and be so look, basically looking to sell stuff by the sounds of it. Where is it? Be found the most obscure Doctor Who costume you could possibly replicate. At the same time, it is taking it far from cosplaying, as I wanted to put it back into the children's house. What? There is an episode called 73 Yards where the Doctor steps out the TARDIS wearing a pair of jeans, big boots, a duffel coat, and a beanie hat. That's him. Every child has got that somewhere in the stairs. Yeah, but again, when I was a kid, I made myself a little jaunting belt from the Tomorrow People, which was basically silver foil wrapped around a belt buckle. We're fine, right? People can work this out. How to? Oh God, I'm the Doctor. I'm no longer. It's no longer the territory of having a budget to explore cosplay or extensive research. It can be, if you want to do that, by saying any kid can get a pair of pajamas and say, "I am the Doctor," because you believe the Doctor can wear anything. Well, then it's not interesting. He's not the Doctor. He's not an interesting character anymore. It's a bit of a duffer of an idea. The most powerful thing the show can do is the child believe they are the Doctor, boy or girl. They can own it. Excuse me. no one had a problem believing they were the Doctor or playing the Doctor in the classic era. It doesn't matter what your skin color was, right? Again, I'm a fat Jewish guy, right? I related very much to the Doctor. I was a fat Jewish kid as well, so I related very, very, very much to who the Doctor was. It was already ambition, but then by chance we cast Shooty. Oh, by chance we could cast Shooty. Oh, just happenstance we cast an incredibly hot black gay guy that loves to suck dick. I mean, yeah, allegedly. The world's greatest clothes. His friendship with Pam Down, our costume designer, has been one of the great joys of the show. It's incredible to watch. We just step back and let them do it, and we love the end result. We're very lucky. Well, I'm glad you love the end result, right? Well, these pictures I saw. These pictures are so not Doctor Who. Let me see. Where was it? It was on Twitter, I believe. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, here, one second. These new pictures they put out of Shooty and Millie, there's just so, again, nothing connecting this to Doctor Who in any way, shape, or form. All right, it's looks more like a shampoo ad, frankly, shampoo ad or a jewelry ad. Here, one second, yeah. And don't get me wrong, Millie looks fantastic. We know Millie looks fantastic, right? It's no surprise that Millie looks fantastic. One second, share screen. But like, Millie looks great. Doesn't look like she's in Doctor Who. Shooty looks great. Doesn't look like he's in Doctor Who. It looks like, Doctor Who is Shooty Gatwa, not Shooty Gatwa is Doctor Who. Let's do it in black and white. See if that works better. And like, maybe this would have worked better as a costume. It's very gay though. Like, everything is so fucking gay. Oh. Can they just stop with the Russell Davies masturbatory fantasies? Right? Oh, one second. Just a second. Come in. Let's see what that is. Doink. Space Movie had an alternative ending? No, that's not real, is it? No. We get sucked out thing. Okay, fine. Let's go back to this article. Late season of Doctor Who sees the Doctor played by Gatwa and his companion Millie Gibson, Ruby Sunday, travel across space and time to a police box in a police box shaped craft, the TARDIS, an acronym for time and relative dimension in space. Dimension in space, not dimensions. Fuck you. Battling a variety of monsters and magnificent beings. Yeah, exactly. Doctor Who is now streaming on Disney Plus and simultaneously BBC iPlayer, getting the lowest ratings ever. Okay. New episodes, here, look at this. New episodes debut weekly on Friday. No, they fucking don't. Saturday, I think you'll find. Gatwa's Doctor is not for the first time. David's been at the helm, blah, blah, blah. I started with Chris Eccleston, whose Doctor was a war survivor, very battered, very bruised, closed and sardonic. Then someone who gave himself away very, very slowly. Then we moved to David Tennant, who was almost overconfident and hiding all the bruises, presenting a chipper, chirpy fellow with vast oceans underneath. That's fair. That's fair enough. Now the Doctor is much more a 2024 character. Oy vey! Oh, we've got to reflect the conversations of 2024. That major conversation is you woke fuck till you just stop lecturing us. Just stop with your insane propaganda. Like, honestly, Russell, if you wanted to bring your propaganda in, you should have developed this as a story, as a entity without the propaganda, frankly, right? And then it would have worked much better. But for you, it's not propaganda saying that Tories are evil. Again, nobody likes the Tory party. Literally, not even the Tories. Saying that abortion is awesome, saying that unfettered illegal immigration is fantastic. And anybody who doesn't like it is an icky-wicky bigot, right? No, shut up with your idiotic, pathetic, two-dimensional view on reality, which is pure gaslighting. Positive Boss, you can say the Doctor had been buttoned up about expressing their emotions, and that'll be part of the joy of their performance in discovering the character. But in 2024, we're now encouraging every child to say when they're sad, encouraging them to say when they're happy. You know what? Yeah. And we've made such fantastic bloody children this generation, haven't they? Right? These are non-functional, narcissistic pieces of hell, generally speaking. They're larking about on TikTok, and we're giving them platforms and devices, have a laugh and have fun. Yeah, honestly, if they enter the bill to ban social media for children under 16, I will be before that, right? I will be totally for that, because I don't think it's good for the children. Frankly, social interaction is a good thing. That's why they're also incredibly stunted, this generation, emotionally stunted. And on top of the emotions, also brilliantly expressing them. The two good ideas come together, and I'm thinking we're so lucky we got him. Again, for Russell T. Davies, he 100% believes the diversity nonsense, right? He 100% believes the diversity idiocy that he's addicted to. And for him Shooty being black and gay makes it better. Makes his performance much better. And he can't understand why you don't agree with him. And he just says, oh, you don't agree with me, it's because you're a Nazi who hate black and gay people. No, it's that we don't think being black and gay is important, right? But David's ambitions regarding Doctor, here we go, and Reaping the Balls are having Disney as a backer and partner. Don't stop there. The title has already been spotted Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California, offering photo ops for fans. Could fans expect to see bigger Doctor Who presence in the theme parks in the future? Maybe even a ride themed around the show? I hope not. The campaign starts here, the showrunner asks. You know he's thinking about this, right? Again, he thought this was going to be as big as Harry Potter. Bigger. A Harry Potter without an evil turf running it. That was 100% what I think he was thinking, right? The campaign starts here, the showrunner laughed. I'm not sure about that one TARDIS in the theme park is quite taking the world by storm, but it's a start. Let's face it, those things take about 10 years, but hopefully we're on a long-term plan. I don't think you're going to season 3, mate. Right? That leads to that level of thing. That's what you believe. It's not going to happen. And it's because you got such an insane hard-on for Shooty Gatwa. Really, that's basically it. What do you mean by ride? I would have the Doctor Who world. What do you mean by ride? I'm Doctor Who world. That's what I want. Can you imagine in the middle of England? No, it'll be in America. Put that there. I think it will be amazing. We'll have so much fun. I mean, I would like to have like an English land. Like, you know, you have a James Bond world, you have a Doctor Who world. You know, I think that would be kind of fun. We'll have so much fun. I'm all in favor of that stuff because I'm a great believer in a huge team who runs all the spin-off stuff. Well, again, I don't hold your breath for merch sales. Because I see there's so many people who would buy merchandise. They're not even watching. Again, Type 40 has what, 6, 7 people on the panel? I think they got 2 people watching, maybe 3. If they're not even watching it, you're not selling any merch with this. There's a Doctor magazine that's been on sale every month since 1979, and I have every issue, so do I. And boy, has the quality nosedived, right? We have a merchandising team that looks after every kind of thing cozy because we love it. No one's buying your merch. Remember all the merch for Jodie? No one's buying this merch, right? I'm sorry. There's nothing disappointing. There's nothing more disappointing than a child buying a toy that isn't accurate, lets them down, or falls apart. Really? I mean, look. Where is this? I don't know. I think there's a little bit of charm in toys being somewhat crap. Well, where was this from? It was. Trying to find the right folder. No, that's the wrong folder. I think it's over here. Yeah. Okay, tell me if this doesn't look awesome.
From outer space, the famous TARDIS brings Time Lord Doctor Who and the
kind of looking like Hutch or Starsky and Hutch.
Amazing Leela. Ready to do battle.
Leela look shit. But I love
Their
these.
mighty enemies.
I would buy any of these way over any shooter cut.
Fearful Cyberman, the giant robot, and one of the deadly Daleks. Whilst Leela covers him, the Doctor reaches the TARDIS in time and...
Yeah, Leela, you stay here and get killed. You got a knife. I'm just going to vanish.
disappears.
Okay. We talked about increasing cosplay of the shows. So we get the theme park rides as well. Even better. Oh my God, I'll be incredibly happy. Don't expect to be incredibly happy, Russell. Another major change to Doctor Who is embracing the music and musical numbers. Okay, we will do Devil's Called on Tuesday, right? Because maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll do the Devil's Called sometime in the very near future. Another major change to Doctor Who is embracing musical numbers. Gutman gives a lead into that. No, I thought that kind of worked in Church and Ruby Road. This was shit. Oh, I mean, may I just, point this out to you again? Where is this? Over here, doink.
There's always a twist. There's always a twist at the end. My friends,
there's no in-story explanation for this. There's always a twist at the end. Yeah, no, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Right? I really genuinely hate that with every fiber I being. Where are we up to? When asked about the totally musical episode is on the cast, described Joe as being close but not quite there. He added a caveat. Well, look, again, you've made it the gay show. You debuted it during the gayest night of the year, right? And nobody gave a shit and nobody watched it. I'll do that drop in the hat. It doesn't bother me. Unfortunately, lots of other shows are getting ahead of us, and I don't want Doctor Who to be behind the times. You are behind the times. You are making this in 2017. Weirdly, because of that, it might be time to find a different tack on that one. We'll see. I think that my writing has been heading towards bursting into song for a long time. Yeah, Russell, you are like just so leaning into every gay stereotype right now. Yeah, do you think it needs more show tunes? Oh, okay then. Just look at my stuff. I'm always pushing down the fourth wall, and we finally got there. Yeah, okay, but it's a qualitatively different show when you do that. It is a qualitatively different show, man. That John Lennon looked nothing like John Lennon, and none of the Beatles look like the Beatles. It goes back to the early part of me wanting the whole show to be more free visually, politically. It's not free politically. Fuck you. It is lefty woke shit. Through closed music settings, even babies. No other science fiction show or franchise can quite handle that level of liberation. Again, liberation isn't, an intrinsic good, right? Do you want child molesters to feel liberated? No. We should always exist in a space of doing things that only Doctor Who can do, which is a joy. There's so much things Doctor Who can do. None of this. How much longer does it go on for? Fine. So the second episode. Okay, the second episode is talking about what's it called again? The Devil's Called. Fine. So we'll cover that on either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not sure what day I'm going on. Tuesday. Tomorrow night is Jewish Independence Day. Yom Ha'atzmaut. We go from Memorial Day to Independence Day. We find out. We think we think about what we had to pay before we celebrate. It's going to be weird this year, though. It's going to be really weird with Gaza going on. I don't know. So I might do a show tomorrow night. If not, I'll do it on Tuesday, and we'll go with the Devil's Called there. And I got so much more stuff to go over. Like, I wouldn't mind talking about stuff that's not Doctor Who, but we got a lot to go over. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I have to tell you, even being on my in the Naughty Step in my backup channel, I'm getting a nice rolling number, like 35. I'm happy with that number. Weird. We live in weird times, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me tonight. Head over to No, or head over to Sensitive. Oh, I didn't thank Sensitive for coming on. Brendan, you were awesome. Right, he sent me a message. I need to reply. I'm such a shit for not replying. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it again. Say good night